Okay, so I get asked a lot how I actually do my digital painting. So I thought I'd show you. And it really just involves my computer, my tablet. So you'll see down here, this is my hand with my mouse pen. And as I draw with that pen on that digital tablet on my desk, you can see the paint going on the screen. And I really like this program I use called ArtRage Deluxe. And not very expensive, but it has very realistic brush strokes, and you'll be able to see, hopefully with a little bit of close-ups, or if you look at my work, that the brushes don't only expand and contract naturally, but there's some sort of natural buildup they've built into this program, so that the more pressure you put on the brush or my pen as I use, the more buildup you get. So you can load your brush with more paint, and you'll see in this demonstration what I'm doing is I'm sampling colors from the little color wheel in the lower corner. You'll see down there, and I'm just picking a color, making it lighter or darker, and then I'm brushing with it. And you can brush, and this is the oil paint brush, and you can use a wet style, so it will mix in. You'll see this is a kind of a white, but it's mixing in with the blue and the green in the paint that's under it, so it gives a very natural feeling and look to your painting. So what I'm doing here is, this is just basically a sketch or an underpainting, just to show the tools. Now I've chosen the chalk pastel tool, and I'm going to choose a purpley color from the color wheel, and so we could simulate some lavender or colored flowers in a field, sort of doing this very sketchy landscape. But you can see, I hope, a little bit of texture that's kind of similar to a chalk pastel texture. So I know it's a little blurry, and I've chosen a little bit of orange color for maybe some poppy in the field. Just trying to stay very loose with everything. And this is tons of fun. I have taken a bunch of oil painting classes, and I've also done a lot of collage illustration work, and using painting on top of collage photographs, and I just really enjoy the process of working with these tools. It's a lot of fun, and on the computer you have the advantage of going back a few steps. So if you've made a stroke you don't like or chosen a color you don't like, you can move backwards. So now I'll choose, let's see, the paintbrush again, and I'm just going to choose a white color to paint around the outside to frame the piece. Now you see it gets kind of mushy around the edge, so I chose the dry brush tool, so it's painting white but it's dry, so it's keeping a kind of a hard edge. So you have a lot of controls. I basically use primarily just the oil painting brush in this program, but there's a watercolor brush, there's pastels, there's pencil. So here's another technique I use a lot, which is starting with photography, and often I'll take a couple of pieces. You see I've clipped this snapshot of some houses, and most of the photos I use are just from my phone. They don't have to be high-res photos at all, because I usually mush them up quite a bit. And so I like the shapes of these buildings, and I kind of like this landscape. So I clipped out the buildings from another photo, and in Photoshop put them on top of this landscape. Neither of which the photos are really spectacular, but it's often a starting point. So then I bring it in from Photoshop into this ArtRage Deluxe program, and then I start brushing over it, and you can sample. See, I'm sampling the blue from the sky, and you can sample colors from the different areas, and I'll speed this up now so you don't have to sit through this whole demo, but you can see really quickly I'm sampling grays from the building and the purpley blue from the window. Now I don't need to use these colors that I'm sampling from this photo. I can use any colors I want, but sometimes it's nice to get the color organization from the photos first, and then you'll see a little bit later I'll get more creative with the color. Now I'm kind of adding some greens, some that weren't really in the image to begin with. I'm sampling some of the sandy colors. That brown didn't work out, so paint over it. The perspective isn't quite right, so I would kind of correct that. Again, this isn't really an underpainting. See, I made a mistake there with that white color. It was too bright, so I made it a little bit of a darker gray. And then, I might want to do some color interest in the foreground somehow. So maybe I'll take this yellow-green color, add some kind of grassy area. Maybe I want some highlights on the water. So there's a lot of fun to be had. And then there's a great palette knife tool where you can use it just to mush over your images. You'll see it creates a lot of texture. And you just sort of go from there. So that's a quick demo.